Hi, everyone. I'm David Smith. Yes, the David Smith that you keep on hearing behind the slides. I'm doing something different this week. Let's see how it goes. I'm the one that runs Inthrive Advocacy Solutions, your solution for lobbying, advocacy, and strategic planning. Now, before I launched this firm, I was leading advocates in Virginia, and we brought real changes to our criminal justice system. I also worked for a senior legislator in the House of Delegates where I ran her commerce and energy docket. Now, I'm bringing what I've learned through mentors and hard knocks to you. Welcome to
Better advocacy in 10 minutes or less.
Yes, that's actually how I make those different noises. This is a series of videos helping you become a better advocate so you can turn your passion into policy. Now, today, we're looking at Advocacy Days. Yes, that big event you do during the legislative session where you get everyone together and you basically flood those halls, meet with all the legislators, and every single person you meet with changes their mind and they want to vote for your bill. Okay, all right. You know that's not really the way it works. That's not how it unfolds. But you know what? Advocacy days can be important. They can be a key part of your strategy to turn your passion into policy. So let's look at three things. First, we're going to look at what won't an advocacy day do. Then we're going to look at what will an advocacy day do. And finally, we're going to look at those steps in planning an advocacy day. All right, so let's hop right on up here. What won't an advocacy day do? First, it won't make legislators vote for your bill. You still need to be building those relationships. I mean, think about it. If you're at home and somebody comes by and knocks on your door and says, "Hey, will you vote for me as a politician?" You probably could care less one way or the other, right? But if they keep coming back and you see them in the community and you understand more and more about them, then when they come around and knock on your door again, you're like, you know what? I know who you are now. I understand what you stand for. Yes, I'll support you. Advocacy days are the same way. That one visit, that one 5 to 15-minute meeting with the delegate or the senator isn't enough on its own to swing a vote. But if it's part of that bigger relationship building process you've got in place, then it can definitely be powerful. Another thing an advocacy day won't do, it won't necessarily get you press attention. Because you know what? Lots of people do advocacy days. And if you've got an advocacy day and you've got 15, 20 people showing up and you're like, hey, local media, come cover us. This is important. It's probably not going to happen. But if you have a really compelling hook, maybe there is some impacted individual who is ready to share their story about how this legislation will change their lives for the better, how it will improve their communities, then with that humanizing side of the story, then you've got a compelling hook and you might get press attention. But really, advocacy days are not about getting press attention. These are about impacting those legislators, convincing them that your policy is worth supporting. All right, so what will an advocacy day do? First, it shows you have an organized movement. Now, this is important for a couple reasons. It's important because it shows your opponents you are a force for change and not just one person with an idea. And you know what? People pay attention to this. If you have an organized opponent against you in what you're trying to push through, whether that might be your state or another advocacy group, when they show that you're able to pull off an advocacy day, even if it's just with maybe 10 or 15 people, that puts them on notice that you know what you're doing and you've got people that are willing to take a day off of work and show up to speak out about what's important to them. Another thing an advocacy day will do is it will energize your base. These are the folks that even if they can't make it to the Capitol to be there side by side with you, going to those legislative offices, they are excited that is happening. That might encourage them to visit their delegate or their senator once session is over, or to give them a call or send them an email saying, hey, people in my group, people that believe what I believed, they're coming by your office and this is important to me. And finally, what an advocacy day can do is it can facilitate those relationships with legislators. As I said, it's not going to be the point where you are able to create a whole relationship in one meeting, but as part of that bigger scheme of things, as part of your bigger strategy, This is a great way to help build that relationship with legislators. Okay, so you want to do an advocacy day. You want to energize your base. You want to show you have an organized movement. You want to build those relationships with legislators. So how do you do it? First, you need to figure out your purpose. What's the point of your advocacy day? Is there a specific bill or budget item or items or bills that you want to support? Or are you just trying to raise awareness about your issue? Or maybe you're trying to change the narrative around your cause. You don't have a bill yet, but you're laying that groundwork to show that the common perceptions in the public aren't the reality for the people you are fighting for. All right, you know your purpose. Now you want to pick a date. You want it to be early enough in the session that it will be before your bill is heard, if you're having a bill that's heard. If you're trying to get media attention, make sure you avoid days that hot button issues are having their lobby days or their advocacy day. Next, once you have a day, advertise it to your network. Let them know when it's going to be so they can make the commitment. Now, not everybody can commit to be there all day. Some people might be there for the morning. Some people might be there for the afternoons. That's great. Take people where you can get them. All right, you're getting your people to sign up now. While this is going on, you want to create your one-pagers or other leave-behinds. So this is what you're going to take with you when you go and meet these legislators or their staff on your lobby day, on your advocacy day. What is this? We've already done the one-pager. There's a link to it, let's say right here maybe. I don't know where it's going to show up, but I'll have a link to it down below. How about that? This is important because you want to have something to leave with these legislators because they are being bombarded by other advocacy groups and individuals coming by to talk about their bill. But you want that simple one-pager, that nice one infographic, fact-laden personal story that moves them to vote your way sheet of paper so they can have that and hold on to it and then have that in their internal meetings. So if you're leaving something behind that has some value to it, or you're inviting them to an event with value, make sure you understand the ground rules in your state, what reporting requirements you might have. You want to make sure you keep your organization and those elected officials out of trouble. Finally, make sure you're doing some role playing. Have somebody be the legislator. Have somebody be the main speaker of the group. Have them go through the conversation. What are some questions that might come up? What do they want to say? You have your little canned speech at the beginning, but then you make it personal. Work through that, and each person will find what works best for them. All right, so you've been training your people. At the same time, you're also making a game day plan. You want to know how many people you expect because that's going to really impact what you can do. Your groups that you're sending out to these different legislators need to be a minimum of 2 or 3 people to really have the impact of a lobby day. And you want to have no more than like a group of 10. And that's already getting big for the small spaces in most state houses. And once you've got an idea of how many teams you'll be able to have, then you can really hone in on who are your targets. Are you looking at committee members? You want to make sure those committee members know you're present, that they know you've got this group that's active and working on this policy issue of yours. If you don't have that many, then you're going to look at a more succinct list, that shorter list of those votes that you're trying to secure. Those are the swing votes, the people that haven't committed to vote for your issue, but you think they might come around to vote for your issue. And remember, when you're looking at this, you're looking at schedules. Since this is going to be during the legislative session, you should plan on a 5 to 15 minute meeting, plus a wait time because there will be some delay, and then walking time from one office to the other. So basically, you're looking at one meeting every 30 minutes. And that's another thing. If you can't get a meeting with a legislator, don't worry. As long as you're meeting with their staffer, that's really what's important. FaceTime with the legislator or the staffer are both equally important during this time of year because, once again, working for those legislators, I saw how exhausted they would be. And oftentimes, they weren't able to process everything that was happening in those meetings because they were thinking about the other places they were supposed to be in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes. Whereas that staffer, that person could focus exactly on what your policy ask is and how they can present it to their legislator for maximum impact. Okay, so you've made your plan. You know how many people you're going to expect. You know who your targets are. Now you need to figure out also who are your leads. Each team is going to need somebody to lead them. This is going to be the person that goes to the secretary, the administrative aide's desk, and says, hey, we're here for our 12 o'clock appointment with Delegate Smith. They're the person that's going to introduce themselves to the staffer or the delegate and do that first pitch of what you're there for. And then you're going to want to make sure you know who else is really going to be comfortable speaking. Not everyone has to speak. Some people can just be there in the background. But you want to have a couple people that are going to be ready to speak. Your lead person there, and then hopefully somebody that has a personal experience to what you're lobbying for, what you're advocating for. And then when you're breaking up these teams and you're looking at who is going to visit whom, if you have legislators who are targets and you have constituents within your group of those legislators, then make sure those constituents on your lobby day are meeting with their own legislators. That's going to have maximum impact. All right, so we just covered a whole lot of stuff in this little bit of time. We looked at 1, what an advocacy day won't do. 2, what will an advocacy day do? And 3, how you can plan your advocacy day. All right, I hope you learned something. Go back, check out the video again. I'm going to start trying to have little bookmarks in these videos to make it easier to find those key spots when you're going through them. That should be showing up on today's video, hope. And I'm going to try to put that in the past videos as well. Let me know what you think. Have you done an advocacy day before? Have you led an advocacy day? Drop some ideas in the comments about what you think I left out, and I'll probably include those in a future video. Like and subscribe to the Inthrive Advocacy channel to get notifications of new videos. Be sure to check back every Friday for a new
Better advocacy in 10 minutes or less video.